Welcome to the Southern Alberta Baseball Magazine Show with your host, Rick Solberg.
Hello and welcome once again to the Southern Alberta Baseball Magazine Show. I'm your host, Rick Solberg. We're going to change things up today. We have a two-part series where we feature PBA alumni who came back to Lethbridge as the featured speaker at the PBA's scholarship banquet back in January. Alan Cantwell has made the trip from Eastern Canada to the prairies and is now living in Louisiana. And he came back to talk to the players and the alumni about his experiences and passing on some of his expertise to the players. And he spoke about his hard work ethic and his experience as a PBA dog, and that has helped him become a head coach now at the high school down in Louisiana.
You know, I got a phone call from Coach Hubka, and asked if I might be interested in coming to Lethbridge to speak at the banquet. And I had to ask him again what he wanted me to do because, you know, 13 years ago when I was here, Pat Gillick was the speaker at this banquet. It was pretty neat, you know, and I was a Jays fan and he was general manager and all that good stuff. And then I really thought about what he just asked me, and I almost teared up because Coach Hubka had the biggest impact on me in my career and even more as a family and as a person who I am. I spent more time with Coach Hubka in 1 year than I have a lot of people I've ever met. And when he asked me that, it kind of confirmed that he felt something special about me the way I've felt about him for a long time. And I know everyone says that it's an honor to speak at these things, but it truly was. It kind of floored me. And I was actually scheduled to do a hitting session at the Louisiana Baseball Coaches Association in Baton Rouge, and so I immediately just called that coach and said, look, I appreciate the opportunity to come speak here, but this is just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I have to take. And so we're here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. I took after leaving LSUS, I started a head coaching position at a high school, C.E. Bird High School in Shreveport, and it's a big school with a lot of great people, and the baseball program didn't have the success necessarily that it probably should have, you know, so it's kind of like, it reminded me a lot of PBA. We started with a lot of kids, but it needed a little bit of direction, and I just remember all the little things that Coach Hubka and Coach Kubasek taught us, just really about working hard, and it was just really about, I'm not saying that I'm a great coach as far as fundamentals and, you know, how to hit or throw, or I don't have a magic potion to make a team better, but I just kind of brought my work ethic and what I believe is how you need to work to get better to these kids. And when you instill that attitude and that work ethic into 50 kids, it's amazing what can be accomplished. And we've done a lot of really good things in the last 3 years, and all of a sudden our high school program is about to be a really nationally recognized program throughout the country. Baseball is their sport, and they have, down south, they just have such an amazing opportunity, obviously because of the weather, and there's so many schools, and they just expect to go to college. So when they're growing up, they just expect to get a scholarship. Where us up north, we don't necessarily have the best program. Like the high school baseball in Louisiana is amazing, and Texas, you know, these are where your top round draft picks are coming every year, from California and Florida and Louisiana and Texas. Where up here, we're doing great if we get a month and a half of baseball to play in the spring before we start American Legion or whatever it is that each province's program is at the time. But they just have such a bigger venue to be showcased, and they just expect this money. And so whereas up here, I'm not sure if the kids really understand that we have the same opportunity, but we just don't get to see it as much because it's not on TV every day, and we don't have our best friends going to LSU and Arkansas and stuff like that. So when we hear about a guy going to LSU from the north, it makes the news, you know, or it's like, wow, what an amazing thing. But it is an opportunity for these guys. There's 50 kids in there that have just as good of an opportunity as any kid down there. We just need to make them really understand they got to make the best of an opportunity like PBA, where they can do the exact same thing. They just need to do it. A lot of people, when you start to have success, people talk about you leaving or wanting to do bigger and better things, and my response is always, there's nothing bigger than this. You have 50 kids that are just following your lead, and they want to do great things. What else is better than that, And ultimately, I do want to go to a college baseball program, but these kids, they're out of college. They have a coach that has all the knowledge in the world that's going to make them better. The University of Lethbridge and the community college here in Lethbridge, they're going to get a great education, have a wonderful opportunity. They're going to meet friends and build relationships for the rest of their life. The best man at my wedding was from PBA. I had I think 17 guys from PBA at my wedding in New Orleans. I had guys fly in from Canada. Everyone who I met from PBA, and I just recently came to meet Aaron McRae in Vancouver for his wedding, and the relationships that they build in there, because the only way they'll have success is if they fight together, and through that fight and that competing with each other to get south, to get the scholarship money and have that opportunity, they got to do it together, and they build these relationships that they really will last forever. And baseball is going to come to an end for all of them. That's a guarantee. Those friendships will last forever, and that's an amazing part of what I've experienced.
Thanks a lot, Alan. We'll have part 2 of our interview with Alan Cantwell next week, when he talks about some of the things off the field to help the PBA players as they get prepared for the 2011 campaign. That's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next week on the Southern Alberta Baseball Magazine Show.